Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to A Course in Miracles 365 Awakening to Love. I'm your host, Tomas Garza, and I thank you for joining me here today. And again, a heartfelt welcome wherever you're joining me from. This has been so much fun for me, I just have to say. Having started this live stream here on Enlightened World Network back in January, I've met some amazing people right here on the network from all over the world. So I thank you for joining me. I thank you for all of the comments and questions that you've asked. That's one of the things that I'm here to do, is to encourage discussion about spirituality, about your own walk, your own practice. And thank you for all of the hearts, the likes, the comments, and the shares. It's very, very wonderful to share these lives with people that you think might benefit, whether it's to your personal page or a group page. So thank you for all of the shares. And well, we aim to get this message out to as many people as we possibly can. So I thank you for joining me. Now, I also want to just put out there, before I launch into today's idea that we're going to talk about in some depth, is that feel welcome to leave questions and comments here. If you're catching me live right here, then questions and comments are most welcome, even if you just want to say hello. So definitely please say hello in there. I check the comments every day, several times a day after I go live. So if you're catching this on the replay, or if you're watching live right now and you don't think of something until later, go ahead and pop that in the comment thread. I'll find it and I will reply. And this is something that I love to do, is to answer people's questions about A Course in Miracles, about spirituality in general. And we're all here to help and to assist one another, aren't we? So, got questions? Ask. If I don't know the answer, I'll tell you I don't know, and maybe send you to someone that does, right? So, yeah, definitely please feel welcome to do that. Now, the idea that we're going to cover today, I'm going to go into some depth on, and I'm also going to talk about the importance of practice, about a commitment. Yeah, a commitment to practice, to regular practice, dedicated practice. Because and we all know, that it is required to grow. It is, isn't it? It's required to grow. It's not enough just to wish for it. We have the ability and the responsibility to take action on it. So you will hear some spiritual teachers insisting that spirituality is not all rainbows and unicorns. It's not all absolutely blissed out lovingness. Actually, our nature is total blissed out lovingness, of course. But here in the world, we don't have constant access to that because we identify with the ego. Therefore, we're running around on a hamster wheel, all of us, feeling great 1 minute, absolutely beautiful, connected, loving, joyful, powerful. Then the next minute we feel awful. Yeah, we feel lack, less than, suffering, anxious, worried, stressed. It's a yo-yo, isn't it? We're back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Aren't you tired of back and forth? Yeah. So the practice of spirituality means that we have to take a look at all of the unhappiness. We can't will it away. What we have to do is we have to acknowledge it and release it. In A Course in Miracles, that's one of the main functions of forgiveness. According to this thought system, the way it's presented is releasing what no longer serves you. But in order to release what no longer serves you and have access to yourself with a capital S, yeah, your true nature, which we'll talk about in a minute, in order to access this, you've got to first become aware of the blockages. to your experience of that, acknowledge them, and release them, which means acknowledging them and releasing them. It doesn't mean denying them away and, having one blissed out experience after another without going into the drama and the darkness isn't ultimately going to get you where you want to go. We'll just cycle around again and again and again. And you may wonder why you're not experiencing constant happiness. Well, it's internal, and spiritual practice is the way. So A Course in Miracles is one way. It is not the way. There are many, happily, thank God, right? Many different forms of spiritual practice in the world. And we're so fortunate. We truly are. We're so blessed here in the 21st century to have access to all of them through modern technology and the internet. So if you're seeking information, you can find information. If you're seeking people to meet, to practice with, you can find those people. Yeah, and if you're curious about A Course in Miracles, you can purchase the book. You can find plenty of information online. If we have the willingness in today's day and age, there's a way. Most definitely. There are a lot of ways. Here's one of them. I teach this one because it has been the foundational centerpiece of my own spiritual practice for the last 8 years. Now, my own spiritual practice is lifelong. I've had a personal meditation practice for over 35 years, since the mid-1980s. I've also taught meditation. And A Course in Miracles to me is beautiful because it makes complicated concepts relatively simple. Now, I mean, there is language here that needs deconstructing because terms are used differently than they are in the modern world, in common speech, common parlance. So there's some things that need to be discussed, but it simplifies everything and brings it all together in a way that really resonates with me. So if you're out there and you're searching for a spiritual practice that really resonates with you, I encourage you to keep searching, because there's something out there that's going to speak to you. Now, if A Course in Miracles is the main focus of your practice, like it is mine, great. If it's not, that's okay too. This is a beautiful way to augment and enhance your current practice, whatever that is, whatever religious or spiritual tradition you currently follow. These are universal ideas that will help you to understand your own practice on a deeper level. So how can I say that with all the confidence that I just did? Well, because experience. Yeah. One of my most favorite and humorous teachers in this lifetime was a Tibetan trained Buddhist Lama named Michael Conklin out of Portland, Oregon, who used to say, nothing exists until you experience it. And I love that, right? So in other words, ask questions. Yeah. Be skeptical. Nothing exists until you experience it. Beautiful. Once you do, there's no going back. So today's idea is lesson 95 in the workbook, and it is, I am one self united with my creator. Okay. I am one self united with my creator. If you're following along, you'll notice that self is capital S, creator, God. Who else? What else? Yeah. Capital C. I am one self united with my creator. That's truth. Many of these ideas in the workbook for students are period mic drop ideas, and that's one of them. It is a statement of truth. So what's the problem? Well, we don't believe it. You may insist that you do believe it, but if you see yourself as separate, as cut off from all of your brothers and sisters here in the world, if you see yourself as running around competing for supposedly scarce resources, attacking, justifying, judging, then, well, that's evidence, isn't it, that you don't believe this truth, that you are one self united with your creator, one with. Did you ever feel that you were one with God? Yeah. Search your memory. If you did, you'll know. Yeah. You'll know what that feels like. And the tremendous relief that even an instant of that awareness can bring. Even just a split second is enough to radically and unequivocally alter your life forever, for the better, yeah, in a good way. This is an accurate description of who we all are, all of us, not just me, not just you, everyone. I'm one self united with my creator. So what do we go off and do? Well, we see ourselves as small. We see ourselves as lacking, yeah, in whatever form that takes. We see ourselves as suffering, yeah, and we run around thinking that's life. Well, there's more to it than that. And clearly you have felt and experienced that there's more to it than that. Clearly you believe that and you want to explore that. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. Okay, so I want to pay special attention to the comments on today's workbook lesson 95, because it talks about the need for consistent practice. That's part of why I wanted to lead off by saying this is not all rainbows and unicorns. It's not all happy, peaceful, blissed out vibes only. Spiritual practice is not just that. Yes, that happens along the way, and more of it the further you go, luckily, happily. However, in order to change our minds, we've got to form healthier habits. Think of it as forming healthy mental, spiritual, psychological habits. It is mind training. If you don't like the term, that's okay. You don't have to like the term, but that's what it is. So if you wish to call mind training something else, call it something else. The issue with us is our minds are undisciplined. We're easily distracted now more than ever, right? All we have to do is pick up this little device and we're swept away. Yeah. And think about the time before we had those little devices. Our minds were still swept away, weren't they? Because it's constantly churning out thoughts. What happens? We follow them. The practice of spirituality, the practice of these workbook lessons, in other words, the practice of meditation, is a process of training the mind, of relaxing ourselves, of chilling ourselves out so we don't chase all of these distractions. We don't chase every single thought that we have. That's a lot of thoughts and a lot of chasing. And a lot of them are about yesterday or tomorrow, right? They're about the past or the future, which do not exist. Only the present moment exists. And meditation practice, practicing these workbook lessons as close to the letter of the instruction as possible, that they're invaluable tools. They're invaluable tools because we open up space to make different decisions. We relax ourselves. It's not like everybody has to be totally chill. I mean, people look at someone that's been meditating for a long time and say, oh, that person's really chill. I can't do that. Actually, you can, but you don't have to be just like them. Isn't that the beauty of it? Right? Each of us has our own unique role to play. What you do in terms of your spiritual path and how you reach out to people, how you show up, teach, and lead is different than how I show up, teach, and lead. It's good. We need that. Why? Because there's a lot of people in the world. There are people out there that will only resonate with you. Believe it. If you don't believe it, believe that, please. There are people out there that will only resonate with you and your particular experience and your particular showing up. Your particular delivery is going to speak to someone, so you must deliver. Must. But this is exciting, yeah? You have a responsibility to yourself and to everyone else to show up as the best version of you possible. In other words, capital S. Yeah. Because you don't know who you're going to reach until you show up and teach them. And you are 100% capable of radically altering lives for the better. You can, in just a moment, even change someone's lifetime trajectory. You can do it with a single smile, much less a word or a series of words on a live stream. It's a lot. It's a lot we can do. Each of us has our own unique role to play. So what we need to do, well, we need to open to that. Another part of the beauty of mind training, meditation, is that it opens us. We allow the flow. Okay. If you like that language, I like that language. We allow the flow of the divine through us. We are a part of it, one with one. One. One does not mean someone's up here, someone's inferior down here. Somebody up here is casting thunderbolts at somebody down here, making them suffer. No, we're one. And all of these practices are exercises in directing our minds to that truth. So this is what we do. We reach for that truth. We allow ourselves to experience that truth. We go through the practice periods as closely to the letter of the workbook as we possibly can. Now, if you forget some practice periods, so what? It's just like getting distracted in meditation. You bring your awareness back to the object of meditation. This is the same thing. This is a waking, living, breathing, living meditation. It may help you to think of it that way. It helps me tremendously to think of it that way. Why? Because each time you're pulled away, just bring your awareness back to the object of meditation. Today, it's lesson 95. I am one self united with my creator. And you could even shorten that, as it recommends, to I am one self. Capital S, yeah. Capital S. So we repeat this, we repeat the practice periods, and we need them. We need them because our minds are undisciplined. Now, what I hope is that you don't feel badly for that. You know, I don't feel badly when I get distracted. I simply notice it and bring my awareness back. That's what we do. And it's all too tempting in the world to use the fact that you forgot the day's idea just to stop practicing it completely. People abandon the workbook for students. They'll start it. Yeah, I mean, I've seen this happen time and time again, right? A group gets started. I'll start a group, for example. I'll start a live stream and people will follow along for a little while. And then you forget the day's idea one day. You get busy, you have things going on, life happens, yeah? So rather than continue where you left off and keep going, people use that as an excuse to just stop. Say things like, well, I tried to get through. Try? Yeah, we use it as excuses. And you know what? If you do, so be it, right? You're not a bad person. We're not bad people. So we can spin in that cycle too. We can say, oh, I messed this up. I just can't do that, and beat ourselves up. That's not what this is for. Mind training is to get us out of that, to make ourselves aware that we do that to ourselves and see it for what it is, let it go. That's what we do. And that's why we need it, because at this stage, our minds are not disciplined enough. Now, if you have been working on this for years, if you have a yoga or meditation practice or a spiritual practice that you've been doing for a long time, diligently, consistently, with regularity, if you've made it a habit, in other words, you'll know that once you do, progress is not only possible, it's assured, isn't it? 100%. But it's a matter of making this a habit, ingraining it into your life. So what needs to happen for that? Set time aside, maybe. There are people that go through the workbook for students and set alarms on their watch, if that helps you. Set calendar alerts so that they remind themselves to practice. Maybe you post an image or a piece of art or something that is physical and tangible, maybe visible to you, auditory possibly, that reminds you to practice. So whatever that looks like for you, let's not underestimate the importance of training our minds. That's what this workbook is for. That's what A Course in Miracles is for. And that's what any spiritual practice is for. We train our minds. We allow ourselves to open to the flow of the divine. We become aware that that is us. That is who we are. As we have somebody popping on here, it's Dr. Ruth Anderson. Well, hello.
How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm gonna finish up and hang up this so it records to my computer.
Perfect, perfect. I just wanted to take a minute, Tomas, and tell you I've been watching some of your videos, and because we're putting them on Pinterest.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
I absolutely love what you're bringing to Enlightened World Network.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're most welcome. All right.
Right.
Well, this is a surprise appearance. Yeah, but say hi to Ruth in the comments.
Good morning, everybody, or good evening, wherever you are. Anyway, take good care.
All right. We'll see you in a little bit. Thank you. Special guest. That was unplanned. All righty. Well, so thanks, guys. I haven't done what I usually do, and that's stop talking. I can do that, believe it or not, and take a look at your comments. So I do want to, if you're watching live and have questions or comments and want to say hi, I would love to say hi to you. Kimberly, hey, how are you? Thanks for joining me here. Yeah. Okay, so really, really beautiful comment here. Kimberly writes, just being in the presence of a teacher that we resonate with can impart spiritual wisdom without a word. Yeah, right? Yes, I have had this uniquely powerful experience and I'm grateful for it. Me too. Yeah, I once had the great fortune to see the Dalai Lama in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, yes, just yes. That's the only word I really have for that. Super powerful. And it doesn't even have to be somebody as famous and as well known as His Holiness the Dalai Lama. It's really just a beautiful thing to be in the presence, because somebody can teach just by their presence without even saying a word. It's the feeling that you get from them, whether you see their aura or not, doesn't really matter. It's about how do you feel in their presence. I love it. And Hope and Tina, hello. Yeah, thank you for joining me here today. Yes, and yeah, Kimberly, a really good point on this, that progress, not perfection. I love this. So I want to talk about meditation some more. Should we do that? Can you tell I like it? Yeah, progress, not perfection is great, because this is a reason why people quit meditating. It's a reason why they stop doing the workbook for students, simply because, they just quite simply think they're doing it wrong. You sit and meditate and you get distracted, start thinking about tomorrow's lunch and, or how your knee hurts or something like that. Okay, no problem. Just bring your awareness back to the object of meditation. One of the things that's really great for progress, not perfection, is look at where you are today in your spiritual practice and compare that. I'm not talking comparative reality, saying somebody's better than I am. I'm talking about just look over the course of time, where you started and where you are now. What's the difference? And you can see that it's a long game. This is all a long game. In fact, if there's no such thing, if you have the experience that there's no such thing as linear time, of course it's a long game, right? We don't have to heap the expectation on ourselves of acquiring the wisdom of Buddha in 5 minutes. I mean, it's, for most of us, not possible to sit down and meditate for 3, 4, 5 minutes and become fully and completely enlightened. Now, if that happens to you, fantastic. Will you let me know in the comments so I can have you on the show, please, right? Most of us just don't have that experience. However, we don't know when that's going to come. When you make regular practice a habit, you hasten the day, hasten greatly the day when that comes, not if, when, because this is who we are. We're one self, united with our Creator. That is a statement of truth. If you do nothing else today, just recite that, please. Yeah. So many beautiful, there have been so many beautiful teachers in this world. This is really great. And Stephanie, hi, how are you? Green Valley, Arizona, love it. All right, beautiful down there. It's about 2 hours and 20 minutes from where I currently sit here in Phoenix. So thank you for joining me. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in here. This live stream is daily, and we've had a spontaneous appearance by Dr. Ruth Anderson. By the way, if you don't know Ruth, Ruth is the founder of Enlightened World Network, and she's brought us all together. So yeah, give her a shout out on here in the comments, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. If I haven't got to your comment or question, feel welcome to type that into the comment thread regardless, and I will get to it today. Okay, guys? Thanks so much. We'll talk to you tomorrow.